We got everything in this video. Holy smokes. We got an asteroid that's headed for Earth. You got Elon Musk spending millions of his own money on Super Bowl ads to promote Doge. You got Justin Trudeau, who's fled Canada, gone overseas to Europe. Who knows what kind of relations he's going to absolutely destroy there. Freeland targeted by China. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage y'all to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help grow the channel. This is going to be a doozy. It's going to be jam-packed with stuff, so hope you're sticking around for the long run. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with this asteroid right here. NASA officials report a 2.4 chance of an asteroid striking Earth in 2032. That coincides with a lot of climate agendas, up from 2.3%. It's gone up 0.1% in a few days. This equates to 1 in 42 chance of impact with 97% likelihood that the asteroid will miss. And the asteroid is estimated to be between 130 and 330 feet in diameter, which is kind of crazy. It just reminds me of that movie called Don't Look Up. Then you have Trump and Putin really starting to turn the tide here. A Russian jet and an American F-35 share an airstrip and airspace at Aero India 2025 for the first time in history. Hey, good job, America. Maybe Russia ain't all that bad after all. Then you have this hilarious comment here of Donald Trump saying he will not deport Prince Harry because he's got enough problems with his wife. Of course, we all know that he was a de facto from the royal party because his wife, Meghan Markle, was saying that the royal family is racist. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a history book could have told you that, but anyways, kind of interesting. And then you have this post here that Elon Musk could be spending $40 million of his own money on 5 30-second Super Bowl ads exposing government waste that Doge has found, which is crazy. And I feel like we're living in the like super pro America based time right now where we might even see commercials go back to being really cool. I mean, Super Bowl is obviously an exception, but just regular TV ads. It might actually be like some cool, fun stuff, just where people are not afraid to be canceled. Cancel culture wouldn't exist, doesn't exist. And we're just back to like saying whatever's on our mind and we just live day to day like that. And I, for one, am absolutely for that. And then you've got this one here. Ben Shapiro is saying that he's concerned that Kanye West might unalive himself, to which Ye personally replied saying, "Yo, thanks for calling me Ye. This warms my heart. By the way, if I magically die, I blame Ben Shapiro," which is absolutely crazy. And then to wrap up international news, you've got Elon Musk saying, "I love Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man," to which I replied, "Nothing gayer than a bunch of straight dudes who love each other," which, if you've ever been to the gym or, got some dudes that you hang out with, man, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, let's take a look now at what we got in Canada land to be soon, 51st state, maybe not, hopefully, I don't know. It's very confusing. We're going to start things off by debunking mainstream media lies. Surprise, shocker. I know, right? So the other day, the mainstream media said Canadians pick Mark Carney over Pierre, Chrystia Freeland, and Karina Gould to negotiate with Donald Trump, to which I said I was going to do a poll. I announced I was doing a poll in yesterday's video, and the poll has now been just to boot 24 hours. Who should be Prime Minister of Canada to then negotiate with Donald Trump? 98% of people voted Pierre Poilievre and 2% voted Mark Carney with 12,000 votes. And no way have you ever seen a government poll or a mainstream media poll that has the ability to gather that much intel. Like, they could easily just do one on social media, but they don't. They instead handpick in real person, and it's just absolutely insane. So there you go, folks. Canadians do not prefer Mark Carney over Pierre to be Prime Minister or to negotiate with Trump at all, ever. That's just not really a thing. And then what breaks my heart is seeing posts like this. Holy crap. Thank the good Lord Canada has free healthcare. I could sit here for 5 hours and counting just to get an x-ray. This is pathetic. And that's our beautiful free healthcare. And I've talked to some Americans recently about this. Our healthcare isn't like, it's not necessarily that bad. It's actually more affordable for our healthcare to be embedded in our taxes the way it is than to pay a monthly fee. Some Americans pay like, paying jobs. They've got good paying jobs. They're paying $900, $800 or $1,000 a month. And then they get free coverage up to per, 1 year calendar, up to maybe $3,000, a year of free coverage. Or sorry, of coverage they have to pay, and then it's free. And it gets very tricky. So I ran some numbers, and the average Canadian in a lifetime of paying taxes, I think pays it was like $40,000 or $90,000 towards healthcare because it's embedded in our taxes or something like that. Whereas Americans are paying like over $500,000 easily. It's actually closer to $850,000. So kind of crazy if you think about it. But that's my opinion, folks. I'd love to know yours. Then you got this post right here that regurgitates some stuff that was uncovered from Global Affairs website, where Canada is paying Philippines to, what is it, $7.2 million for gender responsive systems approach to universal health care. Kind of crazy. So while Canadians wait forever to get a hip replacement, or like the post we just saw to get an x-ray, our government's spending $7.2 million on stuff in the Philippines for them to have health care. Yeah, no, we definitely need a northern Doge of our own. And I really hope that we can fix our healthcare system, because it's a good system. It's just extremely bogged right now, and we don't have enough people to really just be nurses and doctors, and it's just super, super, super corrupt. So now let's segue a little bit more into how our government sucks. Oh, wait, that's the underlying message of pretty much every single video. Japan's prime minister, when asked about U.S. tariffs, had this to say.
If the U.S. places tariffs on Japanese imports, would Japan retaliate?
I am unable to respond to a theoretical question. That's the official answer that we have.
That's a very good answer. Very good answer. Wow. That's very good. He knows what he's doing. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
And there you go. Whereas Canada's approach to it was, we will retaliate immediately. And it just goes to show how incompetent our government truly is. And we're starting to get a little bit more competence. Maybe not necessarily at the federal level. There are, conservatives that are competent. But more specifically, I'm talking at the premier level. Premier of Saskatchewan, Scott Moe, reacts to the prime minister telling business leaders that Trump isn't joking about annexing Canada. Let's see what the premier has to say.
Before we go, I have to get your reaction to what President Trump again talked about today, Premier Moe, about Canada becoming a 51st state, being potentially annexed or absorbed by the United States. How do you sort of frame that when you hear that kind of stuff?
Well, that simply isn't going to happen. And, I've heard the Prime Minister in Canada also say that isn't going to happen. And I would like to hear him say that more rather than, repeat it in any way that this is something that the President is very serious about. What I see the President being very serious about is, addressing, the conversation around USMCA, addressing the conversation around border security, fentanyl, illegal migrants, those types of things. I don't take the comments seriously with respect to the 51st state, and I don't give them credence by repeating them in a room of industry leaders from across the Canadian across our great nation either. And so I was disappointed to hear those comments today by our Prime Minister. I think there is a much more collaborative way forward, and I would hope that our Prime Minister and our Liberal government would be looking for those points where we can collaborate and come to get ourselves back to a space where we are entirely focused on that shared economy and that integrated economy we have, and growing it into the future on behalf of the folks that we represent in Canada and the U.S. and collectively across North America.
Yeah, pretty good answer, man. Pretty good answer. I think that the best way to approach this is to just say Canada is not going to be the 51st state. And in terms of any tariffs, we're just going to be focused on getting the job done. Meanwhile, when you flip over a little bit and take a look at what's going on in Ontario, the Ontario NDP just announced, make sure you're sitting down here. The Ontario NDP just announced that they are wanting to launch food stamps. That's a generous thing for the middle class. Yeah, no, you heard that right. But don't take it from me. Take it from the actual video, right from the horse's mouth here.
As Premier, I'm going to deliver immediate relief for families all across Ontario with a new monthly grocery rebate that puts money in your pocket and puts food on the table. Our rebate is going to give lower and middle income families extra help every month to pay for groceries and to make ends meet. So a family of four could get up to about $122 back every month, and that's over $1,400 per year. At a time when people are really feeling anxious about their budgets, our monthly grocery rebate is going to help 3.7 million households.
That's insane. That 3.7 million households, not people, 3.7 million households in Ontario being under food stamps. That just goes to show how grossly mismanaged our provinces, our government truly is. Like, this is super sad. Relief for people? Yeah, no, that's great. Relief for Canadians specifically? Absolutely. But we shouldn't be needing this amount of relief for the average person. Like, that's just bananas that our economy is this bad. And so, yeah, that's food for thought, quite literally. Then you've got Conservatives that have done a recent press conference here about what it would look like, or the probability of Canada becoming the 51st state.
Does it concern you, though, that Canada's largest ally might be coming after our natural resources? I mean, and if you're in power, if you become government, what are you going to do about that?
Well, look, we've been told by the people who were at the table that that these comments aren't to be taken seriously. That's
not the case now. So if it is the case that Donald Trump is coming after our natural resources, what are you going to do about it if you're in government?
If the assertion is that Mr. Trudeau was lying, then and that's your assertion, then it should be addressed here in the House of Commons. There were 338 members of Parliament elected. It's absurd that the Liberals have shut down Parliament so the debate can't happen about what we can do to put Canada first. What do we need to do to strengthen our borders? What do we need to do to have robust and diversified trade? And Mr. Poilievre has put forward a very clear plan with respect to strengthening our border, with respect to getting our critical natural resources, critical minerals and natural resources to Tidewater, getting them to market, repealing the legislation that the Liberals have passed that have stymied those efforts. So we've put forward a plan. This is the place that should be debated. Anything that Mr. Trudeau and Mr. LeBlanc have said obviously can't be believed. They've been demonstrated to be lying to Canadians. But that needs to be, the issues need to be debated here in Parliament. That's what Canadians elected us to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I think that we're long overdue for Parliament resuming. I, for one, am extremely excited and looking forward to, not to sound like a nerd, but for question period to resume and get back to doing those streams, because that was just so much fun, man. And there's going to be so much anticipation for what's to come. I mean, Justin Trudeau theoretically won't be in question period. It'll be whoever wins the leader of the Liberal Party, likely Mark Carney, if that's even possible. So Mark Carney in as the interim honorable leader of the Liberal Party, Prime Minister. Like, it's going to be super weird. Very different scene. And Freeland won't be right on the front bench like she always has been. So very exciting in the coming weeks, months, maybe they'll resume. Who knows? We don't know what kind of emergency powers the government could be using, but nonetheless, it's still something to look forward to in the hopeful near future. And then you've got Justin Trudeau here announced that can we even do more? Trudeau heads to Europe looking to strengthen trade relations with other allies. So here you go. He's traveling to Europe to talk trade and AI with allies. Let's take a look.
With Canada-U.S. trade tensions strained, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is looking to shore up relationships with other allies. Trudeau is traveling to Europe for 5 days to shore up transatlantic cooperation. While in Paris, the Prime Minister will attend the AI Action Summit, hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. Trudeau is set to deliver a keynote speech at the summit, where he's expected to talk about what he sees as Canada's leadership in the sector, but also the need for world leaders to work together to ensure that this technology is developed responsibly. At the summit, there's expected to be representatives and industry and government stakeholders from nearly 100 countries. So it's likely Trudeau will have sideline conversations with other world leaders while there. In those conversations, we're expecting him to once again talk about international trade, the economy, stability, and security. Then the Prime Minister is heading to Brussels. There, he will attend a meeting of the Canada-EU leaders. In that conversation, we're expecting CETA, the trade pact, to come up for discussion, as well as the continued need to support Ukraine. While in Brussels, the Prime Minister is also going to be meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. There, Trudeau is expected to reaffirm Canada's commitment to the alliance. Now, this trip, likely one of the Prime Minister's last before he leaves office next month, so it's being seen by some as a bit of a farewell tour, where Trudeau is likely to impart some final thoughts on the world leaders who will have to continue navigating a rapidly shifting global landscape and U.S. President Donald Trump's uncertainty in the months ahead. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. Trudeau's time is literally coming to an end, and this is one of the last big trips that he has. And when it just comes to Trudeau, I mean, chances are we've already seen the last of him ever being heckled, of him being really protested in person. Like, it's the end of an era, folks. It's the end of an era. I say with a big ass smile on my face. Then you've got this coming out of Canada here, where U.S. tariffs could raise the cost of beer in Canada. Yikes, that's not good. Let's take a little look-see-poo here.
Ottawa's craft breweries are not immune to President Trump's tariff threat.
If prices go up on everything, things like our products become, less affordable, right?
KGCP Beer imports its beer cans from the U.S., so now the scramble is on to find other suppliers.
The cost of our cans and the cost of our glassware will go up. We know that if this comes through, we know that this is going to happen. So, right now our suppliers are trying to work on alternative options. We deal with Canadian suppliers on our cans. We deal with Canadian suppliers on our glass. But they, from time to time, bring in products from the U.S., especially on the can side of things.
Many consumers are determined to buy Canadian while the tariff threat hangs over Canada.
We have the resources. We just need to do the manufacturing.
Beer lovers are also hoping prices remain stable.
Of course, yeah. If the price went up a lot on one thing, I'd be looking for alternatives for sure.
10 cents, 15 cents, that won't make any difference.
Yeah.
But if it goes up 40, 50 cents, it's a whole different story.
Dude, it's already insanely expensive. I went to the liquor store the other day and I bought a 15 pack of beer and a 12 pack of a different type of beer. And I go to pay and it was like $72. We're not talking craft beer here, folks. We're talking, it was like Kokanee or something like that. Kokanee and Lucky or something like that. Lucky's a West Coast beer. It's very cheap. It's supposed to be cheap. It was something along the sorts. $72 for what? 27 cans of beer? That's insane. That's insane, folks. So if prices go up, it's going to be even more insane. What the hell are we doing, man? Should be $1 a can. $1 a can. Like not $2, $3 a can. Holy smokes.
From beer to whiskey and Canadian spirits.
You can see we're proudly Canadian with our maple leaf on there.
And the move from Dunrobin Distilleries to give consumers a price break.
We're lowering our prices on our most popular products.
Co-founder Adrian Spitzer says it's about supporting the community in uncertain times.
I think we wanted to show, our support of our community. There's never been a better time for the community to come together, and we wanted to show that, we're strong and we can assist here in the midst of tariffs going up and the threats of all of this. What can we be doing as a community to support each other? And this is one way we can give back.
The Ontario government has vowed to remove American liquor from the LCBO if President Trump approves a 25% tariff on Canada after a 30-day pause. Dave Charbonneau, CT.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the main concern, instead of, planning around that should be, hey, we should be putting pressure, social pressure on our politicians to actually go and fix these issues, get them done. And then we don't have to entertain the tariffs are coming and what's our response going to be? Just do the freaking job. Trump already proved that if you do what he's asking you to do or demanding you, then there won't be any tariffs. He's already removed them off of other countries because it benefits America, right? The problems at our border being, if they're fixed, it benefits America and Americans, more importantly, Canadians. But now let's take a look here at what's going on with Chrystia Freeland and how the Liberal leadership campaign has been targeted by foreign interference. Kind of crazy.
It's an extremely serious allegation leveled against the Chinese government. A panel of top federal security officials are alleging that the People's Republic of China is behind coordinated and malicious activities targeting Chrystia Freeland's Liberal leadership campaign. It's alleged the operation took place on WeChat, which is an extremely popular Chinese social media app, and it's been traced back to WeChat's most popular news accounts that experts have linked with the Chinese government. Now, the posts were amplified by over 30 other WeChat accounts with articles that disparage Freeland, seen by an estimated 2 to 3 million users worldwide. Freeland responded on social media saying, "I will not be intimidated by Chinese foreign interference. Having spent years confronting authoritarian regimes, I know firsthand the importance of defending our freedoms." WeChat campaigns against Canadian politicians have allegedly happened before, with former Conservative MP Kenny Chiu saying he was targeted during the 2021 election due to his support for some foreign interference measures. Now, this information came out late Friday night from a press release from a group called the Site Task Force, which has folks from CSIS, the RCMP, Global Affairs, and Canada's Cyber Spy Agency, all there to identify foreign interference during election periods. But the group going public with this level of detail is extremely rare. During the 2019 and 2021 elections, they did not go public with any foreign interference concerns like they did tonight with the alleged attack against the Freeland campaign. Mackenzie Gray, Global News.
Paid for by frickin' Mark Carney and Trudeau to discredit Freeland. I can almost already see it, man. That's how this stuff goes. If there's anything that the Liberals are good at, it's elections. Like I hate to admit it, but they are good at elections. And right now, there's like behemoths that are going up against each other for this Liberal leadership race, and they can't come out. It would be a bad taste. And in bad faith for them to come out and directly attack each other. But how big of a coincidence is this that China has come out of this group has come out of the woodworks and says, haha, we are doing foreign interference specifically on Freeland and none of the others. That's kind of crazy. But speaking of crazy here, they've now come out with the dates for the Liberal leadership debates, which is very, very cool. We're going to be tuning into that. So this was posted originally where I saw it was by CTV on X, and it brings me to right here, the CTV group, which is screenshotting a post of their X, but whatever. So February 24th is the French debate, le français, and then February 25th is going to be en anglais, in English. So I don't know what I'll be doing. I might stream that on my House of Canada. Who knows? But that'll be very entertaining to tune in for that one. So mark that in your calendar, everybody. And that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts and comments down below about any of the topics that were covered. And I'll see you guys later on today or tomorrow. Bye for now.